rate to about 130 miles an hour, and the Cadillac Alante is just a minute now.
All right, Bobby, we'll let you pay attention to your very important job of bringing the field down. One car in trouble. The 36 car, unbelievable. Roberto Guerrero, the pole sitter, in trouble. No indication why this could have happened at all. We're only on the second parade lap, not even to the pace lap, and Roberto Guerrero spins the car. Talk about his bad luck here, Sam Posey. It struck again.
He has been on an emotional roller coaster through the middle of the screen there. Absolutely inexplicable.
The only thing that one might consider, Bobby indicated to us, Bobby Unser, how cold it is, and because of that, look, the car is damaged.
Yeah, no question, he's out of the race.
The tires may not have come up to full temperature, and maybe with that high torque engine, when he shifted gears, just suddenly.
Boy, it...
Oh, what a terrible situation for Roberto Guerrero. One of the nicest men.
We thought that he was making a true comeback. Of course, he was one of the fastest and best drivers in IndyCar racing in the mid-70s. He suffered a concussion at this track in 1987 in a testing accident. He was in a coma for 17
Share with us what happened out there.
Well, I keep hoping this is a dream or a nightmare, and I don't know if it is. You know, it was obviously with the cold weather, I was trying to warm the rear tires up, and I gave it a little bit too much, and it just swapped out.
There's a matchup with Emerson Fittipaldi with the new Chevy B engine. Gary Bettenhausen has a Buick.
And a car into the wall.
A teammate of Gary Bettenhausen's.
Another one of the Buicks out of the Menard stable. That's Tom Steva's car.
Yeah.
Former winner of the race, and the front end heavily damaged.
Also crashed. Look at the upper part of the screen. That is a crash almost identical to Piquet's, Paul, Bobby.
Very, very close. Lost it at the apex.
He just flat lost it. It was just the rear end came loose. I don't think anything broke on the car. It was just simple matter.
Another angle, same situation.
And you can watch. It's right, Paul. It's the most likely place that a guy loses it at the very sharpest or the right down at the apex of the turn.
Another look at the same accident from down right on top of the wall. Watch the yellow car. There it is.
He did not hit directly head on, which is encouraging there. Not as severe an impact as Piquet's was. The speed was lower and the angle was better. Let's have high hopes for Tom Sneva.
So Tom Sneva loses control in the fourth turn, catches the wall on the outside, bringing on the second yellow light. Another angle of this accident.
Sneva is one of 10 former winners in the race, and some of those men, including Sneva, have not had much experience.
Dr. Henry Bach just walked out of the care center, and Hank, what's the status on Tom Sneva?
He's on his way to Methodist Hospital. He has contusions to his left chest, his left hip, and both of his feet. However, he is awake and alert.
That's good news. Tom Sneva, heavy impact with the wall, not nearly as bad as what we saw with Nelson Piquet earlier in the
People will look and say, well, Michael has this big lead. Things must be going awfully easy for him. But he has gotten the big lead by taking...
And an accident.
Oh.
2 cars involved.
Well, there was an unavoidable crash.
And a dash as he waves and says he's okay, but a second car got into that as he was spinning. Look at that.
Boy,
debris everywhere.
Like it for a couple of feet, that boy could have been very unlucky, Philip Cash, because the car that went by him, which I didn't get the number yet, he went by so fast, Bob, but boy, he could have hit him right in the center.
Watch this, Bobby. There's the spin.
Yes.
Philippe catches the wall.
Oh.
And Stan had nowhere to go. Wow.
And Stan was almost into a spin himself trying to miss him. There was nothing he could do, but I can't imagine how lucky that Stan Fox and Gash are that he didn't plug him right in the middle.
Yeah.
Watch this
Another
now.
view.
Oh, watch this. Doesn't show it as good there, but he was in a drift trying to go to the left to miss him. Very close.
You know, that's a very unusual situation. You seldom see that kind of accident where one car is spinning and another car catches him anymore at Indy.
Again, though, you see the components of the car tearing off and absorbing energy.
Plus, look at that tire and the parts going across. Often a driver behind doesn't know which one to try to miss.
The rule at Indy used to be that you point at the car and then you'll miss it. Is that true anymore? Here's another view of it. Gash loses control in the corner, slaps the wall. Now keep an eye on his car, Stan Fox. Pinched off by another car, fails to miss Gash's car, and Stan Fox is also
French
out.
rookie driver Philippe Gash just walked out of the care center. He was in an incident just moments ago, and Philippe, you looked to be okay. What happened out there?
Yes, I'm okay first. I think I'm lucky because the crash was really hard. But I don't really know what happened. You know, guy in front of me braked suddenly in turn 1. So I was surprised and I was obliged to brake also. And then I spun and I hit the wall. And only 2 or 3 seconds after, a car hurt me again. But I'm okay, you know, everything is okay.
You saw a flash of what looked like smoke there for a second, and we've got an accident. Several cars.
Holy smokes. One of the Penske cars.
It looks to be Fittipaldi.
Emerson. It's Emerson
Fittipaldi.
Who
Tags
had
the
been-
wall right on that restart.
Who'd been running third. He was one of 2 other cars on the same lap as Michael Andretti.
Well, Emil had great fortune on the yellow. He was on the tail end of the lead lap, but was able to close up and get back into contention when the yellow came out.
He looks to be all right. He's moving around in there an awful lot. The car doesn't look like it's been up all that bad, Paul. So I imagine Emil shouldn't be able to get popped out unless he's got something sticking his legs in, or holding them in, rather.
What an unusual Indianapolis 500. This view of this situation from Rick Mears on board camera.
Mears had up ahead of steam. Whoa, Mears is going to be out of it too.
So Mears, it looks like, got involved with the Crawford car.
Yep.
Caught a quick glimpse of that
Both
car as it
Penske
came
cars.
around.
Both Penske cars put out at the same instant.
A single situation and 2 cars out and the second Bernstein car.
Oh, and he was caught. There was absolutely no place to go. In other words, it just was a wedge right into the wall, plus into the green car. Crawford there also.
Well, there is an example of when your number is up on this track, your number is up. There's just nowhere to hide on an oval with a big concrete wall around the outside of it.
It looked as they came back to green, we saw a lot of dust coming up. The track, of course, they've run very hard on a lot of this track. And there you see Emerson.
Face and see what his feelings
Now
are.
take a look at it again.
Okay, there's the first impact, which involved Mears and Crawford, and there's
then Fittipaldi.
Emerson crashing at the top of the screen.
It would appear that Emil went down there and had a problem unrelated to the others.
Incredible.
Unless he ran over some debris.
But he
and
wasn't
flew
there
by.
yet. He wasn't at the scene of the accident yet. I don't think he could have been running over debris.
back.
See?
Look at that.
There's impact number 1, and now we're going to look at the upper
Now
right.
Watch Fittipaldi running rather high.
Yeah.
And comes out from behind that other car.
I think he may have just had to lift off really
Fittipaldi
suddenly.
is on the high side there. Watch them as they come out from behind the tree.
Just starting to get in trouble there.
On the low side, actually, down low.
That's what we meant.
And catches
Bammo.
the wall. He flies on the 82nd lap of the Indianapolis 500. And look at, oh, and another car, and that's Mario.
This involves Mario Andretti. You see him moving over toward the pit wall on the inside. Mario Andretti.
Well, that's been more like a war zone today than it has been a race. We hardly get the race started, we have another crash.
Very lucky for Michael Andretti. This will bring out a yellow, which will enable him to take care of his tire problem.
Well, remember, Sam, we don't know that he has one. Let's tell everybody that, but he just heard.
Now watch this as we ride with Mario. Waiting for the green to come out. The field strung out through the 3rd turn now. The short chute is ahead.
But you just don't want to know. You just don't want to look.
Back end just came loose.
Oh.
Boy, that gives you an idea how hard they hit here. Back end just came loose, just like you just said, Paul. There was, I don't think anybody else involved or anything else involved.
6th time that a crash has taken Mario out of the Indy 500.
He's failed to finish in 20 of 27 Indy races.
And it's at the same place that turn 4 coming off. It's got to be slippery up there because we've seen a lot of problems there.
And that was a fairly head-on angle into the wall, so we hope Mario is okay as we take a look at this situation again.
This race has turned into a demo derby, basically. And yet, in a sense, it is also proof that today's technology in Indy cars can protect the driver. We've seen accident after accident without serious injury. It makes you wonder, Why can't we have something like this for our passenger cars? I hope that in the next 10 or 15 years, the technology that we are seeing developed here at Indianapolis will start to be available widely for all of us who drive our families on the street.
Violent spin when he hit the wall.
The cars that were running behind Mario all had to jog around there, including Bobby Rahal.
You can watch
this is
him
the in-car in slow motion. Now watch his hands. He tries to correct it.
Yeah.
Now
He
remember on a
knows.
rear
He
engine
knows.
car that once it's gone sideways, you see he quits working the steering wheel, because once you've gone so far sideways, there's nothing left to do with the steering wheel. Just ride it out and hope for the best after that.
And did you see him push his head back into the headrest just before he got to the wall?
Yeah.
So you don't get a whiplash and pop
He
your head
took
so
precautions, that's for sure.
That's the move of a veteran.
Yeah. I bet he pulled his feet back in there, too.
This view is right from the wall that separates the main straight from the pits.
Well, he hit that thing head on. I mean, it's bad.
It has the care center here just moments ago, just giving us a report on some of the long list of drivers. Let's listen in.
Some report on his x-rays.
Okay, Henry, you just came out. You have a list of injuries on certain drivers that have been brought in just moments ago.
Tom Sneva has been released from Methodist Hospital in good condition. His x-rays were negative. Jim Crawford is going to Methodist, as is Rick Mears and Emerson Fittipaldi and Mario Andretti. Rick Mears sustained injuries to his left knee, and we'll get x-rays of that in his feet. Emerson Fittipaldi has a puncture wound to his left knee, and Mario Andretti has injuries to both of his feet, the extent of which we will not know until we see his x-rays.
So a lot of reports pending here from the Hannah Medical Center.
Apparently in trouble. The last Penske car, and another car into the wall. Another car into the wall.
Vassar.
Jimmy
Vassar. Wow. One of the really top rookies in this field, a man with a big future.
Yeah, you would think by now, with the problems that these drivers are having, and they see the other guys have with their cold tires after these restarts, that they'd go a little bit easier, Paul.
You know,
they may not understand what's happening.
Isn't that the kind of thing that they would go up and down the pits and tell everybody to be concerned with, Bobby?
They see this all around
once
the track.
again at the situation that brought on our latest yellow.
That was Vassar.
Jimmy Vassar caught the wall.
And you can see the same problem.
Exactly the same thing, isn't it?
Just lose adhesion, and of course the rear end's always the one that breaks away first. And it just looks like a replay of almost every accident we've had today so far.
We're hearing a lot of guys are getting hurt here. This is very bleak.
Yeah, that's not a great list that Dr. Bach gave us. There's Vassar.
Yeah. Just a one-car.
Right down in the apex.
Very fortunate.
That was almost a two-car right there,
Yeah,
Sam.
you bet. Sure was. John Andretti missing him by inches.
Remember, they did a lot of work on John Andretti's car to get him back in the action. Here's the view across the short chute. A lot of damage to the right side of that car. Let's go down to the pit.
Very early. They picked up the power in the short chute between 3 and 4. Long before they were inside of the green.
Another car into the wall. Like you say, Bobby, it's surprising that they have not learned the lesson.
Well, I really think they have, but I don't think a lot of the drivers remember the old days when tire temperatures were so important before Goodyear had figured out how to work the rubber. And the guys are just having a problem with it. And it just doesn't look like it's going to get any better. You see guys like Ray Hall and Big Al and Little Al, guys like this that seem to have enough experience, but how does that answer Mario Andretti? He's really good here.
It's Brian Bonner who climbs out of the car. Another rookie in this race, and he appears to be okay.
Yeah.
Well, he hit that thing really, really straight head on. Just goes to show you, though, sometimes the impact gets just right. The driver doesn't get hurt at all. With Bonner, he's standing on his feet. It doesn't look like his feet are.
I don't think he was really up to speed, though. Do you?
Speed, yeah, exactly.
You see,
still a hard hit. You know,
how
many times could you even hit Danny head on like he did at 60 miles an hour and survive?
I'd rather be sitting here in the booth than in his car, I'll tell you that.
He's probably doing 100, maybe 100, 120 miles an hour when he hit the wall there.
All of that. Not nearly the 200 that we see, but he was certainly going fast when he got the wall. But Brian Bonner did pop out of that car.
Look at the rear wing, how it's bent over there. That just shows you it didn't touch anything. Shows you how hard it hit, Paul. It just bends it over the side.
We've had 51 laps under green, 51 under yellow, as we're 2 laps
beyond the Navy in World War II. He's a patriotic guy, Brian, and that explains the flag on his helmet. He put it on just at the time of the Gulf War a little over a year ago.
Well, when you see him with slow motion, you see that he did get the right front, hitting the wall just a little bit before it was dead center there, and that probably helped well, not probably, but it did help tremendously. Look at the water coming out. That's on the track and needs to be cleaned up also.
So Michael Andretti, once again under yellow, continues his lead in 5th place, but he dropped back during that. Scott Goodyear, for one, was able to get around.
Very costly stop for Ray Hall under the green. That's bad time.
Jeff Andretti.
Jeff Andretti catches the wall, this time several laps back into the green flag, driving A.J. Foyt's car.
Oh, Gary Bettenhausen, who just talked about his run, a fine run.
Look at the tire on the left, still rotating, still rolling down the track. The debris is still early.
Gary Bettenhausen, there's his car. He's failed to finish 15 of his 20 Indy 500s. The tire finally rolls to a stop from 200 miles an hour.
And exactly 20 years ago, Gary Bettenhausen almost had this race won. Small problem right near the end really robbed this man of being a winner.
Now just violently.
Boy.
Violently.
Boy, Jeff.
Looked like a wheel was off the car before the car started spinning, and see that wheel's already gone.
Yeah, the right rear came off of that thing. It happened so fast I didn't catch it a while ago, but watch as it goes around there. There is no right rear. There's the right rear rolling down the track. Now that's about the worst tire you could lose, because the rear end is going to come around when that happens.
But Bobby, aren't there supposed to be locks now to prevent that?
Well, Paul, there are, and I really can't explain that. That's a head-on crash. That's a bad hit right there for Jeff. Same angle PK hit at.
Out on the track as the field works under caution past. The safety crews work, still trying to cut Jeff Andretti out of A.J. Foyt's car. Jeff started this race as a teammate to A.J. Foyt. By the way, this accident moves A.J. into the top 10. Bobby Unser, look at it again. Maybe we can figure out why Gary Bettenhausen got involved.
Yes, well, you see, that's Jeff Andretti. Boom, right head on into the wall, really bad. I think probably the hub broke on the right rear. I doubt that the safety lock came loose. But now you watch that tire bouncing, and it bounces to the left. We'll see another shot of it here in just a moment.
Report, by the way, the update. I'll give it to you while we watch.
Now there's Jeff hitting the wall head on. There's the tire going around. It bounces. It comes back. Now watch that tire when it comes back down, and it shoots to the inside of the track. Gary Bettenhausen runs into it, hits his left front on it, and that's what put Gary out right there.
There you can see the debris from Gary's car after the tire hits it, and he catches the inside wall. The report from the safety officials here is that Jeff Andretti is conscious, and they're just taking their time, being very careful at this moment, cutting him out of that car.
But you know, we've got 2 Andrettis right now on their way.
So Michael Andretti continues to lead the Indianapolis 500. Ari Luyendyk runs in 2nd place. Then the Unser family and Scott Goodyear. 135 laps complete. And another car. This time it's Ari Luyendyk into the wall. Under a long period of green, Ari Luyendyk catches the wall, running in 2nd place.
Well, look at that left front tire still.
To see him
long before the apex of the corner, Bobby.
He certainly did, and it's just a question now what made the thing jump out like that. There's
looks
something,
like a half shaft.
I was just going to say that thing going off to the side there looks like an axle, Paul.
So would you suspect a CV joint?
All right, now you just think about it now. If they have a vibration, CV joint breaks, the axle would come out, only one tire would drive. That could easily be the problem.
Far upper right corner.
Yes, Paul, in fact, you see the car just literally went straight. Most likely didn't lose his steering. That piece we saw come out.
Junior and Big Al. One more angle of it, Bobby. He was pretty lucky the way he caught that wall.
On this particular one, we didn't see that drive or axle going off the side.
All right, further information, Gary Gerald.
Yeah, this is what Eddie Cheever dragged in on. Actually, Jeff Andretti and other drivers, as Dr. Henry Bach is standing by. Henry, what's the news?
Brian Bonner has gone down to Methodist Hospital with a bruised left foot and a right shin injury. He's going down for x-rays and further evaluation. Jimmy Vassar is going down for what appears to be a fractured right thigh bone or right femur bone. He also needs other evaluation for that. Jeff Andretti has gone down. He suffered a concussion. He is awake, however. He also suffered some severe injuries to both of his feet and to his ankles. It's going to be difficult to tell the extent of those until we see his x-rays. And Ari Lyondike should be released from here shortly with a bruised right foot.
Henry, Jeff Andretti's injuries similar to that of Nelson Piquet, both lower extremities?
It appears to be both lower extremities, but without x-rays, it's really difficult to tell the extent of the bony injury to his feet.
Lyondike has walked out of the infield care center. First of all, Ari, are you okay?
Well, I'm very well. I mean, I didn't hurt myself at all, so you know, I feel good. I'm happy that I'm not hurt. Unfortunately, a lot of guys have gotten hurt this month and today, so I'm glad I'm not one of them.
What happened with the car?
Well, it was a typical racing accident. I went below one of the back markers, and as I was beside him, he didn't see I was there, so he came down on me, and he forced me way down low on the apron. And when I went into turn 4, I bottomed out with the front end, and what happens then, it lifts the wheels off the ground, and after that I had no steering. By the time I had my steering back, you know, by the time the front end had settled again, I was back, I was in the gray, and I was in the dirty stuff on the track, and there was no way. I tried everything I could to keep it away from the wall, but there was no way.